Okay, so we now have our UVs in this little package. I want to explain exactly what we were doing. Okay, so you might see this big grid. Basically, what it is this. This is called the UV space. Okay, so you notice we've been calling these UVs. So if you think about it, when you have vertices, right? If I have a vertex here, let me turn this back off. If I have a vertex, right, it has an XYZ coordinate, right? So it's a certain point in X, a certain point in Y, a certain point in Z. UV is basically the same thing. So for every vertex, there's a corresponding UV, but they can't use X and Y because that would be confusing. So instead, it's vertical, like V, and horizontal. um, I guess that's because it's V, X, Y, Z, UV. You get it. Well, anyway, but that's why they went with that. That was the thought process anyway. So basically, what you need to do is you need to have the all of the UV pieces need to fit in what we call this 0 to 1 texture space. So this is 0, okay, and then you see it goes to 1, and then again 0 to 1. All right. Now this already fits, so that's not really an issue. That's all great. Don't have any major issues with that. But it needs to fit in there because basically when we make our picture, we're going to make a square picture. And that square picture is literally going to be in this square. Now, if for some reason this goes over, if this were like this, what actually happens is that picture gets repeated again right here. So as long as this was actually right here, it would look exactly the same as being in the other spot. However, you don't want to do this because then this thumb is technically right over here. You know what I mean? Because it'd be overlapping, and then it would actually be kind of here. So it's kind of annoying. So you try to keep everything in that UV space. So what I'm going to do is just go to UV. I'm going to click and drag. So right click, go to UV, click and drag over the whole thing. And then I'm just going to hit R for scale. And I just want you to scale it in a little bit. The reason why is that sometimes they actually overlap it. It doesn't do it right. And also when we go to paint it, it'll give us a little bit of more room. Now, one thing I'm going to do this too. So I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to hit R for scale. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the symmetry. And then actually, let's just use this because it's a little bit easier. I'll use the Move UV toolkit. I'm going to hit R for scale. I'm going to scale this and I'll move it over like that. And then I'll grab this one and scale it. I'm going to put a little bit more of a gap between all of the things themselves. It's nice that they are tight because anything in here is also texture information, even though it's not on the model. So this is just wasted information. So you want to try and use as much as you can in general. But what I'm trying to do is just make sure there's a little bit of a gap so that they don't actually accidentally bump into each other. Oops. R, scale it down, scale it down. Literally, you can just go through and just scale them all down a little bit, like so. This isn't actually a super necessary step, but probably should put those kind of the same. Scale you down a little, scale you down a little. Okay, we'll call that acceptable. Now, another thing I could do, and I'm not going to do it here because I don't really want to waste the time, is I could organize this better. So I could make it, if you look, the body pieces are all just laid out all over the place. I could put the head up here and then put the torso here and then maybe have a leg here and a leg here and an arm up there and make it a little bit more well organized so it's not quite so cumbersome to work with. But I am not going to do that because it's just an extra step and I don't think we actually need to do it. I think it'll be fine the way that it is. So what I would like you to do for next class, you already have installed Maya, right? So Maya is an Autodesk piece of software. There's another piece of software that I would also like you to install, Autodesk. So what I want you to do is go to Autodesk do like what you did last time. So you're going to go to Autodesk like so. Very, very slowly, mind you. Very slowly. Slowly. Okay. Go to menu. Go to students and educators. Slowly now. Very slowly. Okay. Yada, yada, yada. Sign into your account. Maybe. Oh, there it goes. Slowly. Very slowly. Yes, that's my account. I was worried I was going to show my password. I have to edit it out. Sign into your account. It's going to give you all the business. And then, I guess let's just get products. Click on media and entertainment because that's kind of what we want. And so what we've used is we've been using Maya, which that's going to be the primary program. But the other thing I would like you to download is Le Mudbox. So select Mudbox. Slowly, very slowly. Select it. One of these days. Come on. Why you know give me software? Let's try refreshing that. Web page is running like crap. Good thing they don't make web software because I wouldn't buy it from them. Hey, look, now it's got it. Okay. Click on Get Product. And let install. I want you to basically install Mudbox. Mudbox is a digital sculpting, which I know we did that with Sculptris, but Sculptris is a little bit different. You'll see when we eventually do use Mudbox, and we're not going to use the sculpting part of it. It's a digital sculpting and a digital painting program. So we're going to bring our models into that, and then we're going to paint on them and bring them back in. So that's basically the goal. So I want you to, for next week, you're going to want, so this week you should do this because you're going to need it starting next week. So don't wait till the last minute because you might run into some weird issue. Some of you have already ran into issues when we were doing Maya. Go ahead and install that. And, yes, I accept. And have that installed for next class. Okay? Save file. All right. So when you are done with this, we'll call this good enough. All right. So now we have the UV. So now we can put an image on this, and this will be good and ready to go. We're going to close out of that, and I will save this as the next version as number 8. Okay. And all you're going to do is grab this thing, zip it up, and submit it on Blackboard, and you are good to go. And then the next week we will be doing the texturing, which is the actual painting on top of the model itself, which is pretty fun-ish. All right, so good luck.